Hello world, welcome back to another episode of Let Them See Your Mind. It's your girl LD Marie and we are back. Thank you so much for watching. Today that we're going to be talking about the importance of voting. A couple of episodes back, I went to a watch party for the presidential elections with Democrats abroad. So I thought today, since I finally got my ballot, that I'll talk about the importance of voting and let y'all go on the experience with me as I vote for the first time abroad and submitting my ballot overseas from London to Texas, because y'all know Texas is one of those red states and we need to definitely get some things going within the Texas government, the local, state, and federal when it comes to this election. So it's important to not only just vote for who's president, who's vice president, it's also very important to vote down the ballot. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So sit back, relax, let's go. So as y'all guys know, I am born and raised a Texan. I was from Dallas, Texas, and I have been a Texan all of my life. And I have been the product of No Child Left Behind, both in a state sense and a federal government sense, because George Bush was the governor at one point, and then he went on to become president of the United States. So a lot of the policies that he implemented federally, I think we were the guinea pig first. But I mean, when it comes to basic government, everybody knows within U.S. politics or with the U.S. government, there's only so much that a president can do. And it's the importance of not only voting up at the top, but also going down the ballot. So a lot of the things that President Bush was able to enact is because he had both the House and the Senate in order to pass certain bills and get some of his agendas out. Sometimes when we think back to President Obama's tenure, all 8 years, there was one point where he was getting a lot of stuff done, and then his second term, he was benchmarked by a lot of Republicans during that time. And that's what we're kind of seeing now. Our politics in the United States is forming into what, if you don't agree with me, then I'm going to vote against it, no matter what I say, no matter what its benefit. If it's not going to be for me, or if it's not going to be for just my party in general, then that's where a lot of our standstill comes about. I just had a question not too long ago where I saw an article that was saying that President Trump is endorsing ending double taxation for Americans overseas. Now, if you make a certain threshold as an American, you are taxed not only in the country that you're living in, but also back in the States. Me, fortunately, I have not reached that tax bracket yet, but some of my friends have reached that tax bracket, and so having those types of endorsements and statements, that will be very earring for someone that is overseas and paying double taxes from their home country into here. But I asked the question of where's the original source, because I only saw it on one website and I can't find it anywhere else, and that's weird. And that's how some of the things that we come about in researching when it comes to politics is like, when we're wanting to see about one thing, we only see one source and that's it. And a lot of people are clickbaiting on that one source instead of just actually doing research. That's why it's very important when one of the candidates, whether it be Vice President Harris or President Trump, says something saying like, oh, I'm going to be doing this. It's important to understand how the government works, and I feel like a lot of people, especially Americans, have forgotten the basic fundamentals of our democracy. That we have three branches of government: legislative, judicial, and executive. And the president is in charge of the executive. Legislation is in charge of the Congress, which is make up the House and the Senate. And then judicial is the Supreme Court. And people don't realize that a lot of these roles, they intertwine and they have a checks and balances. So it's important not only to vote for the head person for the executive, which is the president and the vice president, but it's also to vote in for legislation, which is your senators and your representatives, because ultimately those senators and those representatives, they make the laws. The president signs them. The judicial court, the Supreme Court's act enforces them. That's how our government works. And I feel like a lot of these politics today, even when it comes to this polarized presidential election, we tend to forget that a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, you can do this, you can do that, why she can't do this, because that's not how our government works. And I know everybody and their mama took U.S. government. So what's the problem? The problem that we have today. And so that's why it's very important to not only vote up top, but all the way down the ballot. Because once you go all the way down the ballot, you see that some of the local judges you have to vote for, some of the attorney generals, the railroad person. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to take this as my ballot. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's on the ballot for November. And this is for Texas. So we have the federal, which is the president, the U.S. senator, and then we go down to state, which is the railroad commissioner, the Justice Supreme Court, place number 2. Then we have place number 4, then place number 6, then the presiding judge for criminal court appeals, and then we have the judge for criminal court appeals, place 7, then judges. We have a state senator. We have a chief justice for the Court of Appeals. I mean, just going up and down the ballot. Then we have the district judges. We have the county commissioner. Like, all these different things are on the ballot, but everybody's just worried about federal. It's not worried about the federal. You gotta worry about everything else. And then also, don't forget, there's also special elections when it comes to your county. And so for Dallas, we're voting on I'm just doing a quick read. It sounds like we're voting on the Employee Retirement Fund. Also, you also have to realize when it comes to reading your ballot and actually understanding what you're being voted for, you have to research all this. So a lot of the times, as an American SBAC, I get my ballot 45 days before the election. I submit my application to request my absentee ballot, and I get my ballot right here. And it tells you exactly what's going to be on the ballot. However, for most people that don't get their ballot before 45 days, you actually can go on ballotpedia.com and you can look for a sample ballot and see what's going to be on the ballot. If you're not paying attention to your local news or your city councils or anything like that, like, you can go on that website and look at your ballot. It's important to know what's on your ballot so you can know what you're voting for. And especially when you're going down the ballot, because a lot of stuff, what people fail to realize, it always starts county level, then goes to state, then it goes to federal. A lot of things that happen. And within the democracy of our country, if you look at our history, like, it started 13 colonies coming together and saying we are the United States of America, and we drafted a constitution and declared our independence. So if 13 colonies came together and formed the United States of America, would it also work within the same concept when you are looking at your local laws, your state laws, and your federal laws, where everything that comes about it matters who you say yes or no to. And also it matters when you actually can fire somebody. So like right now, Texas is heating up with Senator Cruz and Senator Allred. Okay, the things are heating up between Senator Allred and Senator Cruz. Like, that race is neck and neck. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like when we have people that we elect and we go get out and vote for, it reflects us as a state, a county, a city, or a country. And so that's why it's very important not only to vote in this election, but also vote in all elections and voting all the way down the ballot, because that's very much important for us to do. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. Oh my God. So I am now on my way to go cast my ballot. I came to Central London because there's no close post office within my area, so I'm heading to the post office now to mail my ballot off to go vote.
As you can see, this is my completed ballot, sealed, signed, and going into the envelope as we speak. Now, I had to buy an envelope at the post office so it could just be double enveloped with the ballot inside. Going up to the register and paying for the ballot to be sent from London, England to Dallas County, Texas. I hope I done everything right.
So I have done it. I have placed my ballot. Now it's on its way to Texas. Got it tracked. Everything else. So I can make sure it goes to Dallas County. And thank you so much for watching with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, I am on Instagram and TikTok. But thank you so much for watching. This is your girl, LD Marie. And we are out.